JB here. Hope everyone's doing an outstanding Monday, November 24th, 3:31 on this fine afternoon. Talk quick about the market. Some names on like that go from there. S&P up another 1.5% here today. SPY's at 669. Continuing its bounce from Friday. Uh, all the headlines. I'm trying to remember exactly the quotes, but if you take a look around, it's just a continuation is this AI rebound gains steam, I guess is one of the headlines. Far cry from what was happening on Thursday and the AI bubble and all these different little things that, the hawkish Fed and just all these different scenarios that were playing out. Over the weekend, I forgot to cite that article too. The Barron's had a piece about the Japanese yen carry trade that was not getting as much attention as it should. But either way, maybe some of that matters in the coming days and weeks. For now, the last couple of days doesn't. It's back to, I would say, not mattering, but it's bounce mode. And the question last week was, is this the midst of the AI bubble bursting, or is this do we have ways to go, or is this finally just a little greed reset and we're back to new all-time highs in the coming weeks? I'm still open to both scenarios here, and I continue to just use the SPY as my guide, right? So the 50-day moving average, 669, excuse me, are right at that 50-day moving average right now as we speak. And if we close above that, maybe it sets the stage here for a rally into the end of the week. Talked about it this morning as well. Ryan Dietrich, always with some great historical stuff. I love historicals. Today is the third best performing day of the entire year on a historical basis, going back to 1950. Who knows? Maybe there's some kind of alignment with the moons and stars and some constellation. Joking aside, this week also is pretty well a return in regards to performance, pretty well in performing week. Some of it, maybe it's holiday, who knows? Sentiment positive just because everybody's in a great mood for the holidays. Whatever it is, some opportunities. So, I'm not going to get too crazy today. And, of course, we had the gap up this morning, and the name I'm in, Reddit, it feels like, I was put it before, it almost feels like Reddit's down 5% today. It's up nearly 6%. And my calls I got on Friday are in the red. Riddle me that, right? That just goes to show you how tough option trading can be sometimes, because you get the direction. Not only you get direction, and the day after the trading session, after you get the calls, after you get the position, it's up 6% and the position's down, and I still have days till expiration. So it is what it is. But anyway, so that's kind of the overall market. So 669 close today would be phenomenal. You see some of these names running up. Google, right? I mean, just another great example of what happens. People were so heck bent that Google's done, right? The AI was going to destroy them. The search business was just yesteryear. Everybody else, all these competing models out there, were going to destroy Google, make it not as relevant, not the leading search platform, whatever you want to call it. That was the bearish crafting spin that was being done back at the start of the year and then into April, and then it's anything but, right? And I remember their earnings. I don't know if it was the April earnings. I forget which quarter. I'm like, wow. I think the stock was two. I'm trying to remember where it was, but I'm like, it should have been up more. It was like 280 or no 180 or 190, and then it gapped and then it kind of gave back. But I mean, here it is, the 320, and all these other names in sympathy are just rallying in tandem. But it just goes to show a lot of folks, these stories that have been created over the years and months, that sometimes they are completely wrong, right? And then if you're able to take advantage of that, obviously some huge gains if you had that on your bingo card for Google outperforming. But anyway, see some other names running up here today. I was talking about Broadcom last week, and it was stubborn even when I had the puts. It was like the premiums weren't going up as much as I thought they would, and then here it is this week. Sure enough, up 10% today is a sympathy trade on Google. Light. I remember trading Light back in the day as kind of like a trade in Apple, right? I mean, it makes some of the components for 3D and things like that. But anyway, great stories. All right, going on tangents. Let me just really quick on some individual names today. And first, I'll just talk about Pool. I've been talking about Pool for the last 2 weeks. I had Pool calls last in August as kind of a trade. Not only does Buffett have a stake, but I think it's a great story. They're doing buybacks. And here it is. The stock did play out that go around back in the summer. And then boom, since October, I don't know if it was because of the rising rate environment or rates not going down as much as the market was pricing in, and it tumbled $100. It was $300 back at the middle of October, hit under 230 last week. Take a look at the charts, a pincher. And I was looking at pinchers, if you don't know, just to kind of like a very short description, it precedes huge moves. It's just it's the momentum indicators, and then once they get tight, it happens, but when the pitcher resolves, it's a huge move. And not saying this happens every single time, but the probabilities of a huge move are pretty high. It's just a matter of if you get the timing right, right? So I'm trying to go back to find some decent pinchers. Of course, every time I talk about pinchers, I don't have examples, but this is one of the examples. Baidu back in the summer, I guess 2024, and you can see it was I think it was in the low 90s when I got the calls, and then 2 days later. Of course, I don't have it circled here. Went all the way up to 106, 107. We'll see how this one plays out. Hopefully I'll have some before and after snapshots of pool. But anyway, got some calls. I was looking at the December 270s. Um, then I'm looking at premiums. I'm like, I think the risk reward here, unless there's any major drop, I think the floor is pretty low, like 225, even if there was some kind of dip. So I went and got some closer strikes. I'm not sure if I'll average down, but if it showed, it was up at 339. I thought it was going to go, excuse me, 239. I thought it was going to go over 240. So, uh, if it's down here at 236, it's almost like the option market like tells the market makers like, oh, JB's in the calls. Let's try and bake the premium and take advantage of it. But anyway, if there's more weakness tomorrow, I might look to get some closer strikes in lieu of trying to average on the position. But I like this one for a move to 270 in the coming weeks. Take a look at the 50-day moving average is 282. So I mean that's it gets to 282. Obviously the 260s will pay off pretty handsomely, but like this one for a bounce. So that's pool. And then Biogen. I've been talking about the biotechs, the mega cap names, and I did Biogen. I don't know if it was back in April, May, and it was in the 140s. And then sure enough, it's been on an epic tear. And I think this biotech story is still in the early innings. I think in 2026 it'll continue. Um, got some of those 200 strikes. I was actually looking at the weeklies. Uh, Thankfully, I didn't get those. But then, of course, I get the strikes, and it's been down ever since. Same situation as pool. If I see some opportunities to add some lower strikes, I will. Still like Biogen for a move over 200 in the coming weeks. Plenty of time on the December strikes. And then Reddit, right? Frustrating. Up. My chart here is up 5%, but it's up almost 6% now, and my calls are in the red. So still like this one. At some point, if there's going to be some news, I think if there's continuation tomorrow over 195, I might look for some more strikes to play for a move to 220 plus in the next week or so. And then other names, I was watching Lemonade at the open. It was like 69 and 70. And then the bid ask on the stock, even with the market open, it was like the bid was 70 and the ask was 71. So just remarkable that a stock, billion dollar, whatever $1 billion company it is, $10 billion. What is Lemonade right now? I don't have it on my ticker, but that a company like that could be that the market will let you buy it for that spread on the bid and ask. Let's see. Oh, it's a $5 billion company. To see the bid and the ask on there, you would think the market would be more efficient, right? So, so because of that, I kind of passed on the calls because it could drop $1 on someone, hits whatever. So all the way up to 73 earlier. I'm trying to look at the chart. Why don't I have my chart right here? Sorry, folks. But tight, and I talked about it earlier last week. It's a bull flag. So if this bull flag sets up from 60, you're talking another $15 at least. Still think the hundreds in December offer a decent risk reward, but I'll be patient there. I think that's it. Anyway, moral of the story for this week, I'm going to continue to be small on the sizing. If I see opportunities, maybe Wednesday afternoon. Obviously, the markets are closed on Thursday, and it's a half day Friday. Maybe some lottos into Friday. I might look for those. Otherwise, I'll be patient. And that's it, folks. Let's have a great day. I'll be back. Rock and roll.